This young lady has a message to the men.
Okay, we need to normalize guys approaching girls at the gym because right now it's just awkward for everyone.
I've been seeing a lot of videos with women saying this, but I'm gonna go ahead and translate what she's actually trying to say.
There will be a guy I see every day. We make eye contact, we do the little half smile thing, and then nothing ever happens.
So there's some guy in the gym, he's 6'8", built like LeBron James. They make eye contact and they smile at each other every day. And because of that, she feels special, not knowing he's making eye contact and smiling at a lot of girls in the gym because he's 6'8" and built like LeBron James.
This goes on for weeks. At that point, we're basically coworkers. I'm not asking to be hit on mid-squat or anything, but if you catch me between sets and just say hi, that's not weird. What's weird is pretending we don't recognize each other after making eye contact 40 times. Like, grow a pair and come talk to me.
So fellas, let me be clear on what she's saying. She wants that guy to come talk to her, not you. Don't you go walking over there, you're gonna end up on a TikTok video. When these women say this, they are talking to specific men. They're not talking to all of us. So do not get tricked, do not get fooled. Don't let her shame you into doing it, trying to make us feel like we're weak if we don't go over there and talk to her. She's not talking to us. She is talking to him. And most of these women making these videos, they are talking to specific men. They're not talking to the rest of us. This is why you see some women online saying, don't talk to us, and other women saying, talk to us. Because the women who are saying don't talk to us, those are the regular men approaching. The women who are saying come talk to us, those are the good looking men that they want to approach. So don't get it twisted, fellas. I'm just trying to save you some time. That's all I'm doing.
To the women who liked to date men, and only women who like to date men only, this message is for you. If you are not a woman who enjoys or wants to date a man, then keep on scrolling. My rent is $6,000. My nails, $150. My hair, $300 minimum. All right, my facials, at least $200, $250. So I pay for all this myself. I do not expect a man to take care of this for me because he is my partner, not my father. All right? I think the men have left now. Ladies, when a man invites you over to his apartment or his house for the first time, please rob him. Please understand that this man wants you to rob him.
This is why I say women hate other women. And this is why you don't take advice from a lot of these women that you see online. Because what she's telling other women to do is to rob somebody so they can go to jail. God forbid, if he ever had camera of you stealing, you're f***ed. I'm telling you, women hate women. They do, because then you wouldn't give some dumb advice like that.
What happened to men pursuing girls?
What happened? Why aren't men pursuing women anymore? Honestly, I don't know why women keep asking this question over and over. But let's see if we can try and explain it to them one more time. But let's be honest though, the answers we're giving them are going to go in one ear and right out the other, because the reality is they don't really want to know what men actually think. They just want men to validate what they think is the reason, even though it's completely wrong. So why are men not approaching women anymore? Well, to quote an old guy from a few hundred years ago, let me count the ways. And I'm going to give you the 3 biggest reasons why men have stopped approaching. Number 1, because there's nothing to be gained in doing so. Sorry, ladies, but men have figured out that while you think you can have all the insane expectations in the world, you know, like if he isn't 6 feet tall with 6-pack abs and a 6-figure income, you also tell us,
we'll be at a function like this. I'm talking about overly loaded, and niggas still won't walk up and talk to nobody. Like, what the f*** you giving me a tripod, y'all? Like, what the f*** you came here for? Just not to talk to nobody?
Yo, I keep seeing this all over TikTok, social media. Women are asking, why don't men approach anymore? You want to know why? Because a lot of us got trained not to. Simple as that. I mean, yeah, back in the day, men would walk up, shoot their shot, take a risk. Cool. But now you approach the wrong one at the wrong time. Now all of a sudden, you weird, you creepy, you doing too much. I'm not talking about dudes being disrespectful. Nah, I'm talking about just saying, hey, how you doing? Now it's, I got a boyfriend. Why are you talking to me? You get posted online like you did something wrong. So after a while, dudes start thinking, why even risk it? Why even put yourself out there to be embarrassed or be labeled as something that you're not? Now, don't get it twisted. There is some weird dudes out there. I get why some women got that guard up, but not every man approaching you is on that type of time. So now we in this weird space where women are like, they want to be approached, and men are like, nah, I'm good. And then everybody's wondering, why don't nobody talk to each other anymore? I'm just saying, it goes both ways.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore, don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift?
Because if a man persisted like that in today's dating world, he would at the very least be called a creep. And at the worst, he'd be going to jail. That is the reality that a lot of men face. So that in combination with the fact that women are not really reciprocating effort and they're not treating men very well right now, there is a large group of men that are saying that it's just not worth it. And they would say that women have asked for it. They have asked men to leave them alone. So guess what, ladies? They're leaving you alone.
World would be a much better place if women shot their shot more. Now, granted, women do approach men. They do text first, right? But if they did it to the degree where they did that for every man that they've ever wanted, they would probably be in way more satisfactory relationships. Because a lot of what we see are relationships where somebody feels like they're settling. And when somebody feels like they're settling, they'll just start doing more. That just kills the relationship either way. Now, technically, women do shoot their shot, but they do it in their own weird little way. Aside from the direct, like texting somebody first or actually contacting one person first, they do it in those subtle ways where you would never guess. Like, they look at you more than twice. They give you immense eye contact when you guys don't know each other. She puts herself in your vicinity, in your area, so she is available to talk to. She puts down her phone. She takes off her earbuds. It'd be indirect like that, right? We've all experienced the text first. We've all experienced the just hitting up first and those indirect signs. But if more women walked up to the men that they find attractive and they shot their shot, they would probably have a much happier dating life, because they would be 100% from, nope, they would be 90% from the field. I understand women do go up and approach men that they really want or that they find attractive, but they don't do it to the degree of men. If they did it more, I promise you, they would have satisfactory results. The crazy thing is, women are so used to it, they see that as a normal interaction. If they were to do that to a man, that would make a man's year, that would make a man's life. He would remember that for the rest of their life. That's not something you just forget, because that is rare for a man to experience. Men will remember that regardless of what the woman looks like. There have been some women that have approached me that I did not find attractive, that were not my type. And there were some that I actually did like, that I did find attractive. But no matter what, I never forgot any of those experiences. Why? Because it is more rare for that to happen to a man in real life than anywhere else. You remember that for the rest of your life. Join the Discord. You guys have a great day, night, whenever you see this.
Everyone says men become mean when they stop loving you. But what if the truth is he just became tired? A lot of men are called toxic or heartless when they start pulling away. But
Many times what's really happening is that the man has already been emotionally exhausted for a long time.
men are not always loud about their pain. They don't always explain every feeling the way women do. Many men try to fix things quietly, tolerate things quietly, and carry the pressure silently. When a man finally becomes distant, colder, or less patient, people assume he suddenly changed. But most of the time, he didn't change overnight.
He just reached the point where he stopped fighting for something he felt he was losing anyway. A man who feels constantly disrespected, unheard, or unappreciated doesn't always know how to communicate that in long emotional conversations. He withdraws. His energy changes, not because he wants to hurt you, but because he's tired of feeling like the villain in a story he feels he has been trying to save.
And the truth is, men leave for peace too. Just like women, men also want respect, calm, loyalty, and emotional safety. Yeah. When a man feels like every conversation turns into conflict, every mistake turns into judgment, and every effort goes unnoticed, something inside him starts to close.
So when he becomes quieter, colder, or distant, sometimes it's not cruelty. Sometimes it's exhaustion.
Because a man doesn't always leave when the relationship ends.
Sometimes he leaves long before that. The moment he realizes the place he was trying to build peace has turned into a place where he constantly feels at war.
A lot of these modern women really don't care how you feel. They don't care what's going on with you. Just pay my bills. That's it. Just pay my bills. I don't care nothing about how you feel, how you express your emotions. I don't care about that. I just need you to pay my bills. Just give me this paycheck. Just give me the money. That's it. And that's how modern women treat men all of the time. So a lot of men step back. A lot of them do quit. A lot of them do give up. But it's, oh man, you just quit. You never even fought for us. That's the line. That's the type of stupid stuff that modern women say after they just got through disrespecting the man. What are you talking about right now? You just got through talking to me. So, yeah, but I was upset. And people just get upset, but that's no reason to leave. Right. But you would leave me if I was talking to you sideways. And not only would you leave me if I was talking to you sideways, you'd leave the first time. Modern women want men to endure years of them talking sideways to a man before a man says, you know what? I think we should go to therapy. Notice I said therapy and not leave. Well, let's go to therapy to see if let's go to therapy to see if somebody outside the home can get me back in my place, because I'm not listening to you. And hopefully we can. I know we're on the rocks, but let's pray to God and see if he can fix it. How come we weren't doing that before? How come you weren't doing that before? If you knew you had a bad attitude, how come you weren't controlling your tongue in the first place? Exactly. You don't want to hear that. You just want to talk stupid. And then when somebody about to leave you and your paycheck about to walk out the door, now you want to fix your problem.
Here's my hot take, and it's probably going to piss a lot of you off. Men only want to be fed and left alone. And the reason that they get mad is because at least one of three of these things is not happening.
12 seconds later.
I'm laughing at myself because I just rewatched that video and wow. I'm too evolved for this, because in this moment, I am realizing that I have a lot of work to do around hating men. And who would have thought that if I want men to respect me, I need to respect them as well.
Here's my hot take that might ruffle some feathers. She is only scratching the surface, and absolutely she's right in that she needs to do a ton of work at dismantling her hate for men. But it is not just that men need respect. Like, absolutely they need that. Like, I think that is a human decency, like, basic for anybody. But what the man needs that you're wanting to be in a relationship with is for you to understand men, for you to understand him. And that historically is what women struggle with the most, because what it takes from women is not always being right, taking accountability, saying I'm sorry, and putting the relationship needs beyond your own personal gain. That is what most women struggle with, even women that already respect men as a whole. Unfortunately, the men that come along and try to help her in the healing process, those are the guys that are like most likely the really good guys. They are genuine and they are patient and they are loyal. Unfortunately, those are the guys that end up getting the most hurt, and that is what's really messed up.
In my own personal experience, the difference in the male attention that I receive when my hair is straightened versus when it's naturally curly is astronomical. I receive much more male attention when my hair is straightened rather than when it is naturally curly. Why that is, I can just only assume that men are wired to find women with straight hair more attractive. Women can fully grasp and understand how rare it is to have naturally curly hair and the beauty of this rare physical quality. I don't think men think that deeply, unfortunately. At the end of the day, it just really matters what you place your value and worth in. And if it's not stupid little boys that can't see the depth in anything, then you're on the right track. So
This is such a good example of how a woman will get mad at men for having preferences that do not match her. Of course, every man has different preferences. Some men are gonna love curly hair. Other men are going to love straight hair. Many men just don't care. Or maybe they kind of like the variety, like they like to see you both ways. But instead, you're mad at men in general, or at least the men that you're interested, that you want to like you. You're mad at them for having preferences that are different than your physical traits. So then you insult them and you shame them. You make it about their depth, like they just can't think that deeply. They can't see the beauty of curly hair. That is just taking it a little too far. And by the way, I will wear my hair both ways because my hair is actually naturally wavy. And what I have heard from my husband is that he feels like he can't touch my hair when it's curled. Like he doesn't know what to do with it. When it's straight, he feels like he can touch it. So I think that sort of plays in a little bit because it feels more approachable that he likes my straight hair a little bit more than my curly hair. For you guys that have made it this far, I'm gonna put 3 comments down below and I want you to like the one that you agree with. Either you don't care, you like curly hair, or you like straight hair more. And then after a day, I'll make a follow-up video and let you guys know the results.
Went to a singles mixer, and only women showed up.
Duh. Like, why? Okay, dudes who get women wouldn't go to a mixer because they already get women. They just exist and they get women. And then dudes who don't get no women, they're not gonna go to a rejection buffet. They already taking L's in the DMs and on the streets and everywhere else.
I can't even lie. He's really telling some truth in there. And this is coming from a guy that was going to those singles mixers. Those events can get really interesting. Especially for me being new to the dating scene and stuff like that. It was always weird for me to go to an event and it'd be like 30 women and only maybe like 6 dudes. So statistically, you're like, oh, the odds are in my favor, but it's a lot going on. One, you have to have confidence to be in that situation. So if you ever have any esteem issues or anything like that, you will not thrive in that environment. And the second thing is, and I'll say for me, it was always a thought, okay, one, is there anybody here that actually is catching my eye that's physically attractive? Because that's, to be honest, at some of these events, it's not a lot of it. So is she physically attractive for one? Does she have good energy? Okay, cool. Now, is there anybody else? Because if I talk to this girl, that's probably going to X out my ability to talk to this other girl because they've all seen there's only maybe 4 to 6 men here. So they're keeping an eye out for us in these environments too. So if I talk to her, that's probably going to any chance I have with anybody else in the room, or else I'm going to keep hearing, so what made you choose me? I saw you talking to the other girl. And that's not something we want to do. So that's the stuff that goes through my mind when I was going to those events.
Men marry the safe girl much more than they marry the dream girl.
Interesting theory. I wonder if that can actually be proven. Or is that just something that some women try to say to justify why they've been left by a man for a better woman? Because from what I have seen, most men actually do marry their dream woman, someone who brings them happiness and peace, as opposed to someone who brings them nothing but nightmares.
And that is because protecting their ego matters more to them than chasing someone who would never accept anything less than the best.
Let's be brutally realistic for a moment. There are some women out there who really have not the slightest idea what actually makes a woman a good woman, or has any concept at all of what many men consider to be marriage material in a woman. Because just a friendly reminder, a lot of men usually know very early on in the stages of a relationship if they're ever even going to consider marrying that woman. But the reason most of these women are so lost in the sauce is because they spend the majority of their time listening to other women, mostly single women, describe the best ways to keep a man in a relationship.
Yeah, women dress up for each other, not to impress men. Science proves it.
Crazy how women will quite literally completely change their mentality based off of just wanting to win an argument, right? For years they've been saying, for years, oh, we don't do it for men, we do it for ourselves. But the second that a man says, hey, you don't dress up for men, you dress up for you. No, we actually dress up for men. We dress to impress men. We've always done it to impress men. We want to get the attention. It's actually been true all along. Am I right now? Like, a woman will literally snitch on herself just to win the argument at hand. It doesn't matter if it disproves all of the other arguments she's ever addressed in the past. As long as she wins this argument, she'll make sure to tell you what the truth is to prove you wrong.
Women need to stop dating down. If you want to do charity work, volunteer. As a divorce lawyer, I see it far too often. A woman with degrees, drive, discipline, and dreams shackled to a man whose only ambition is comfort. She thinks love will level the playing field, and he thinks love means never being asked to grow. We don't talk about this enough, but dating down is a long-term liability, not just emotionally, but financially, energetically, and psychologically. When you date someone who isn't in alignment with your values, your work ethic, your lifestyle, or your ambition, you're not just carrying a relationship, you're carrying the weight of two lives and pretending it's love. He will let you pay for dinner, co-sign the car, help him find himself, and call you materialistic when you ask for bare minimum effort. The worst part, you'll justify it. You'll say he has potential, you'll say he's healing, you'll say we're a team, but only one of you is playing offense. Here's what I've learned watching hundreds of women walk away from these kinds of relationships. The resentment builds slowly. First, you stop asking for help because you know he won't follow through. Then you stop dressing up around him because he doesn't notice anyway. And eventually you stop dreaming out loud because every vision turns into a debate. And suddenly you realize you didn't just lower your standards, you erased them. Dating down doesn't make you generous, it makes you drained. It teaches you to silence your needs so someone else can feel secure. It teaches you to be grateful for crumbs because you once had nothing. But crumbs are not a meal, and pity is not a foundation. I'm not saying relationships are transactions, I'm saying they're partnerships. And if you're constantly the one showing up, funding the vision, fixing the mood, and holding everything together, then you're not dating, you're parenting.
Guys, you hear that? Because a lot of times you guys do that with women. You don't care if she has a job. You don't care if she could be stupid and y'all are still willing to date them. So you want to stop doing that, right? You want to date women that are on your level. So if she's not as successful as you, then don't even bother. Don't waste your time. If she's not able to make sure that you're okay, cook and clean, and make sure that you have you're ready for work, throw her out the door. Next. You don't need that.
Honestly, I do understand why as a woman you would feel a certain way that somebody didn't choose you first, but it's like modern women forget that you're at a dating event, right? So we're here to get to know each other, and we're trying to see who clicks with who. If I walk in, there's so many places to start. Where do I start? I'll start over here. That's what anybody's going to do. Like if you go into a store and you're in a line, they're not going to go to the middle of the line and say, why don't you come to the front? Well, who is first? And when you have a singles event or a singles mixer, I understand, like a mixer in general, I understand it's going to be a little bit different because you're going in and you're trying to figure out, okay, who's open, who's showing body language. I guess it's not going to be different in that case, because it's not going to be, the first person that I see, because they might have their arms folded and they might just be kind of looking like this, but it might be somebody that's kind of open, chilling, and I look at them, they look at me, and they smile, hey, how's it going? And I might go over, hey, how you doing, man? So did you just get here? And that you kind of spark up a conversation that way. So it's the first person who shows me some type of interest or body language or something, because I don't know anybody here, right? So what made you choose me? I'm just trying to get to know people. I don't know anybody here. I'm trying to mix and I'm trying to mingle. Are you okay? Man, y'all shut up, be quiet. That's what I'm saying. These modern women, they go to these types of things and they say they want men to come up to them and talk to them, but they really don't know how to act in that environment either.
All women say they want a good man until they actually meet one and realize they're not equipped to handle him. A good man is not convenient. Mm-hmm. He doesn't bend to accommodate chaos. He doesn't rearrange his values because you're emotional. Right. A real good man has discipline, boundaries, and priorities that don't shift based on your mood. And this is where women get confused. Mm-hmm. When you've never met emotional maturity, you misread everything. You call him cold because he won't tolerate drama. You call him selfish because he protects his peace. You label him detached because he refuses to beg for your approval. But that's not coldness. That is self-respect. A man who knows his worth doesn't move from insecurity. He moves from conviction. Good men don't chase drama. Yeah. They don't chase chaos. Yeah. And they sure as don't chase women who weaponize emotion. They build, they lead, they create order. Most women aren't ready for the responsibility that comes with a stable man, because stability doesn't feed your need for emotional roller coasters. It doesn't scratch that itch for unpredictable validation. For women raised in dysfunction, peace feels boring until you lose it. A good man requires partnership, respect, and a woman who's emotionally regulated, not reactive, not reckless. Stay solid. Good men don't bend, they build. And the right woman rises to meet him.
What are women lacking? Good attitude, Black women in particular. Let's talk about what's a good attitude. Let's be specific. Positive. Imagine that. Service-minded. Already, those two disqualified a bunch of you. Helping and supportive. Confident. Confidence, not loud. Fair and just. Oh my gosh. I feel tired even just saying this. Accountable. Kind. Why is it? It's sad that this is so funny. Kind. Responsible. You know what I'm describing, y'all? Pro-social. That's the opposite of antisocial. Antisocial doesn't mean you're introverted. Antisocial means that you do things that are destructive to society. Antisocial is also a personality disorder. Let me save that one. Your character, if your liabilities outweigh your assets, you're a liability. Someone would have to be dumb to get on board with you. We see it in the fruit. You don't prioritize your own personal character development, but you do focus heavily on getting the promotion, on how much money you're making. You're becoming consumed with achievement, attaching achievement to your self-worth. Most men don't want a pushover of a woman. That's weird. That's uncomfortable. Like, a man that has some character and values, that's a weird feeling to be able to just push women over physically, emotionally, mentally. Like, she can't hold her own like mental ground. That's a weird dynamic to be in for someone who is not like, who's like a normal person. That's a weird dynamic to be in. They're not looking for pushovers, doormats. There's a misrepresentation of being a type of woman that has a mentality that a man likes. Like, they make it so extreme. You must not like yourself. Like, no, I actually love myself, and that's part of why he loves me. Dummy. Y'all are confused. So confused.
If you actually love her, if you actually want to see her again, if you actually want to retain the relationship, don't talk to her. Don't chase her. Let her chase you. Because let me tell you, every time you pursue her, that's you loving her. And not her loving you. You're the one initiating. You're the one double texting. She needs to be doing all.
These are the men that date women, but they don't like women. Men used to yearn for women. Now they're so caught up in what it looks like to the bros. I can't let the fellas see me loving this woman. I can't let them see me chasing this woman that I want. Too many of them date and pursue women based on male validation. Every day they pop up online talking about, well, if the bros don't find her attractive, then I can't date her. Are you dating her, or are the bros dating her? They're dating women based on group think. It's all a group project. She doesn't let you mistreat her, she doesn't like you, or doesn't like you enough. You date with a chip on their shoulder. They want you to pay for every woman that ever wronged them, ever mistreated them, ever rejected them. Now you have to prove to him that you're worth him treating you well by letting him treat you badly? You can't get treated well because some little girl in the 8th grade dumped them. He's 40 years old talking about a high school sweetheart. You don't have to act like you're not interested. You don't have to ignore her. You could leave her alone altogether. This is the advice that keeps them single. Don't act interested. Don't act like you care. Don't pursue her. Make her come to you. Make these women crawl. Would ask how that's working out for you, but I think the male loneliness epidemic and the decrease in marriage rates and birth rates is my answer.
Men, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Men genuinely believe that no one gives a no one is coming to save you, and they are totally alone. But what if I told you they had reason to believe this? I would encourage you to go watch some YouTube videos from a woman named Nora Vincent. Nora lived as a man named Ned for 18 months. In 2006, she wrote a book called Self-Made Man about the experience. She was treated so poorly as a man that sometimes she was actually physically sick. Her key takeaway wasn't that women don't struggle. It was that men's struggle is entirely different and completely misunderstood by women. So there's a constant internal stress and an internal battle that men are facing that often the women in their lives don't see and often can't understand. After the experience, she struggled so much with depression that she actually unalived herself. Ladies, if you look at the suicide rates among men, you can see there's something going on and there's a problem. Sometimes I think we forget that men are emotional and they do have feelings and they do need support. When I learned this and really understood it as a woman, I understood why a man wants peace in a partner. That's what he'll seek. Someone who will bring him peace, not just externally, but internally. Something that will help him win the war he's fighting in himself. Ladies, I encourage you very much to just go talk to someone you know, a guy you know. Try to get them to open up. Ask how they're really feeling or thinking, and it'll be hard. They might not want to do that, but I think you'd be shocked at what you would hear.
Honestly, I would never date a man under 6 feet.
Good thing I'm taller than that.
And his income has to be high, too. I can't be with a man who lives an average life.
What does average mean to you?
At least 6 figures a year. Ambitious, successful, good lifestyle.
Anything else?
Well-dressed, confident, knows how to lead, knows how to spend money on a woman. Basically, a man with status.
That's quite a checklist.
Because I know my worth.
So what do you bring into a relationship?
Look at me.
I'm asking beyond appearances.
Appearance is enough. Men always want a beautiful woman beside them.
So besides beauty, what else?
I bring feminine energy. I inspire men to do better.
Do you own a business?
I'm building my personal brand.
Stable income?
I don't need to work too hard when my man is capable enough.
Skills, experience, accomplishments?
Why are you talking like this is a job interview?
Because your standards sound more like hiring a CEO than finding a partner.
I just refuse to settle for less.
Yet you expect someone who meets every standard, while you've built almost nothing besides your appearance.
Are you insulting beautiful women now?
No. I'm asking what value remains when youth and attention disappear.
You know what? Successful men out there don't ask as many questions as you do.
Because many men pay for fantasies. I look at reality.
I still have plenty of options.
I don't doubt that. But attention doesn't equal long-term value.
So you think I'm not good enough for successful men?
I think your checklist is longer than the value you actually bring. And that's why you keep demanding more instead of building more.
Well, we know that no one hates women more than other women, and in a recent study that will be shocking to absolutely no one, the results showed that male students show more tolerance for their political enemies than females show for their own allies. That's right. In other words, women are meaner to people on their own side than men are to people who sit on the opposite side of an issue. Look at this chart. What do you notice? Well, there is no overlap between the genders. Being a man is what makes you more tolerant. That's literally it. So that's probably why when we get home and complain about that bitch Becky at work and the men in our lives don't seem to care, it's not that they don't care about us, they're just unbothered, in their lane, moisturized, thriving. And in this specific study, men were 3.5 times more likely than women to be tolerant of someone they disagreed with. So basically, none of this is surprising, though I think the only people who will fight the results of this study are liberal women.
And I think it was a lady talking about how's it working out for you that you're ignoring women. The male loneliness epidemic is to blame and stuff like that. If he's talking like that, if he's talking slick like that, then he's doing it. He's probably doing it, and it's probably working out for him. That's probably what's happening. Women are probably responding to it, which they do. You find a good looking man, and this is what a lot of these attractive Chad, because not every man that is attractive or looks good or women like is doing this stuff, right? To be fair. But, Chad and Tyrone, they're going to be absolutely doing it. They absolutely doing it, right? And so I really want him, so I'm going to do anything in my power to get him. That's on you. That's your fault. So when he turns around and says, look, ignore these women. That's what they want. They act like, you shouldn't even have to give advice like this if modern women were acting right. But unfortunately, this is the advice that he has to give because this is what women are responding to. I can't remember who said he was like, I don't pay attention to what women say. I pay attention to what they respond to. And unfortunately, he didn't come across too many women that respond in a certain way. A lot of modern women respond to unhealthy habits and unhealthy ways of doing things, and they stay in unhealthy relationships versus or despite what they're talking about. I don't want a man like that. Why are you still in that relationship?
Half of Gen Z men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks, whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequester from everyone and everything. Half of Gen Z men.
Imagine millions and millions of people watching you get humiliated for content. Christy and Desmond Scott. Now Chris just filed for divorce from Desmond, citing infidelity within their marriage. But they would call their relationship goals. And I'm going to break down for you guys, and I got the receipts to prove it, the video documentation, the social media profiles to show that this is a disaster waiting to happen. Now, my analysis is less on the cheating component. We all know cheating is not right. It's immoral. It's against their vows. I don't think that masculine men should be lying. I think that masculine men should be forthright with what they want. And she does goofy things, and, you know, you could just see right there, bumps into him, and he's sitting there looking like, why am I doing this? And him in the background, t-shirt, looking confused, right? Like she didn't look at his photo at all in the selection of this thumbnail right here. But, you know, who cares about him? I'm the main character. Keep on going down. You'll see the next time that he's in it, kissing her feet while bending down and over, looking subservient. And I mean, why do photos like this have to reach public eyes? I don't know. Besides the branding of positioning her as main character, which many modern women want this branding for themselves.
This is option number 1.
It's a no. You can't even go sit nowhere like that.
What do you mean, babe? We can stand at the bar. You can sit and I can stand at the bar. Why? You're not proud?
Why would I be?
What is it supposed to be like before the accident? I'm in a tornado for real.
I bet you behind closed doors, he don't act like this. But it's a character that has been created that he has to now maintain.
I think you look like a garden that got burnt. It was beautiful. Makes sense?
A garden that got burnt?
It's black flower. I haven't seen a black flower.
But you know what's the most damaging part of this? When she grabbed his face for attempting to make a joke, looks at him like he's crazy, and then grabs his face.
A garden that got burnt?
It's black flower.
As he cowers underneath her and she smiles. Young men, listen to me when I say this. This is the type of content that they want. These are the type of relationships that they want of you. This is why I continue to say that the majority of modern women today are not marriageable, because this is their standard. This is their goals. This is what they want you to amount up to. They hate this side of the internet. They hate masculinity or manhood focused content. They hate when I say anything. They hated when a Kevin Samuels would say anything. That's why they love that because through his, it represented their gaining of power.
Y'all know that if a woman tells you that
Just another day in the office. Few discretions advised.
she acts different on liquor, and by different, you know what I mean, different. If she tells you that she acts different on liquor and you try to get her to drink liquor, you're a right? You know that, right? Yeah, you're
Sweetheart, close your mouth when you chew. The smacking of your gum is not making your mama look like she did a good job raising you. The statement is, if a woman tells you that she acts different on liquor and you try to get her to drink liquor, that makes you a... I think I only got one question. If you know you act different on liquor and you don't want to participate in your difference, why would you ever tell them? That's like me meeting a whole bunch of random women at a party and saying, yo, I love taking random women on shopping sprees when I drink. What do you think those women are going to do? I think there's a level of accountability that's not being addressed in this statement. Because yes, using someone's disadvantage to your advantage to get whatever it is that you want does make you a...
But I'm trying to understand, why would anybody know that that is a disadvantage for them and openly share it? It's like handing a stranger your personal bank information thinking that they won't rob you. Yeah, technically they're a thief, but why would you ever put yourself in that kind of a position is what I'm trying to You know what, man, y'all get on here want to argue about nothing every day, man. And I'm tired of it. Fortunately for y'all, you ain't gotta listen to what I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
Women cry first and hardest, men cry later and longest. Women internalize and address, men distract and project. When a woman goes through a breakup, she does an entire rebrand of her entire life. She does a mood board, vision board, haircut, new job. She builds a life that she's deeply excited about. Now men, specifically avoidantly attached men, they actually feel relief in the beginning, and they justify the breakup to avoid accountability, and they don't actually reflect where they went wrong. Because you have to understand that from a young age, men are not taught to prioritize relationships the way women are. Men are taught to prioritize their career, status, and making money. And so that's what he does. He throws himself into distractions, his work, dating apps, and surface level flings, really anything to avoid sitting with himself. He doesn't prioritize building a vision for his future, and a man without a vision will always return to his past lovers, his past behaviors, and eventually someone easier, someone who won't require him to change and become the best version of himself. At the time, he's okay with that, but eventually he's finally left with his thoughts, and that is when he begins to mourn the loss of the relationship and the loss of you, because what he comes to realize is that replacing physical intimacy is very easy, but replacing emotional intimacy, specifically emotional intimacy that you have built over months, years, decades, you've gone through hardships with this person, that is much harder to replicate with another person.
And another reason is so many single dudes out here now too is because dudes are starting to realize like, it's not much in it for me. And once dudes started realizing that, like, it's not much in it for them compared to like what they gotta put out compared to what they're getting back, they just like, nah, like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna entertain it. And once a lot of dudes stopped doing certain things for women where it was like, it wasn't too much in it for them, they wasn't getting like really no benefits from it, that's when women started saying like, who gonna be the boys? And men used to go to war and all this type of stuff, you know, like, yeah, like it's a different time period now. And like for the dudes thinking like that, they just became more selective. Like it's not even about not wanting to be in a relationship and stuff. It's like you just become more selective now on who you spending your time on and who you dealing with. You know, and that's another reason why too, like making pandering content is working so well, because there's so many dudes now where they're starting to come to the realization that a lot of stuff in relationships just isn't beneficial. The dudes that pander so much, it left that room to pander to women now, and they could just build an entire following and a cult behind that. But regardless, when it comes to like dating and relationships and like it's still subjective to each person, you know, like someone else might have better opportunities when it comes to dating and finding better men or better women, you know, but it's all subjective in the end.
She wants to wear the pants in the relationship, but she also wants a masculine man. She wants a man to lead, but villainizes him every time he does. If you want men to act masculine, you have to treat them like men. You can't lead every decision, control the relationship, and then wonder why you feel exhausted, irritated, and unsupported. Masculine men lead, they protect, they provide direction. But here's the issue, when men step into that role, many women villainize them. A man says, don't wear that tonight, and he's labeled controlling and insecure, when he's simply just protecting. A man says, I'm not okay with your attitude, and is called manipulative, when he's just being clear about his expectations. A man says, I don't tolerate disrespect, and suddenly he's a narcissist, when in reality he's just practicing self-respect. This isn't oppression, this is just masculine leadership. Masculinity has been demonized so much that women want strong men but are not allowing strength. Control isn't femininity, it's wounded energy. It comes from fear, not power. If you don't trust a man to lead, that's a conversation to have, not a role to sabotage. You cannot emasculate a man and still expect him to show up as one. If you want a masculine partner, stop punishing masculine behavior and labeling it as these negative buzzwords. Even when you're single, let men lead, let men protect, and let them be men. Because what you honor grows, and what you attack disappears.
Men like women who play hard to get, not those who chase after them. Or rather, men like women who are able to create a sense of alternation. You see, to make a man fall in love, what you need is to know which alternations are right, when to use them, and when to try them out. Obviously, also showing the other man within the relationship. For example, situations or moments when you are present for him, and situations or moments when you withdraw and pull back. This constant alternation will be the recipe for creating something solid in the long term. Yes, do you understand? Good. Because being predictable and letting yourself be seen as predictable won't get you anywhere. Men will take advantage of you because they'll take you for granted and put you on the same level as all the other women. If the perceived value you have and that you convey to others isn't high, and you do this through strategies, you won't make it. You'll be a victim of the waves, strongly discouraged. That's it. So very simply, if you want to know how to do it, we've created a free opportunity. To access my mind for 14 days, you can comment below with Ask FP. We'll give you free access so you can judge for yourself.
So first off the bat, I don't know what that guy's talking about, but a lot of these modern women out here, he gonna get you in trouble. He gonna get you in trouble. There's a lot of terrible advice out here. He gonna get you in trouble. So be careful out there. You can do whatever you want, but he gonna get you in trouble. Number one. Number two, there was a clip where a woman was talking about when a woman breaks up, she cries first and she cries hardest. Men cry later, and whatever it is. Once again, y'all want men to be miserable. Y'all want men to seem like, oh shoot, my world, I try to hold on without her, but everything's going wrong. No. It wasn't for me. That relationship, it went where it was supposed to go, and it's over. If you want to cry, go ahead and cry. If you want to go out with the boys, go ahead. I don't care what you do, right? However you grieve a relationship is how you grieve it. Don't do anything crazy. When I say crazy, don't be stalking her. Don't be calling her or texting her. Don't do that. Right now, I do understand there are some instances where y'all had an argument and, there were just a misunderstanding. Y'all got upset, and both of y'all need to sit down somewhere for a little bit. Y'all need to go talk to somebody, whether it's a therapist or one of your close friends, and they need to get you back on track. Man, I don't know what we were doing. Man, we almost missed our blessing. We broke up and sometimes that happens. But modern women, what you talking about? Well, I went and got a haircut. I did this, I did that. I'm building a life that I wanted, and all. No, you're trying to build a new identity. And what modern women try to do with this new identity is try to go get another man. It's essentially a subtle form of bossing up. I'm going to boss up on this man. I'm going to create a new me, this and that. And I'm a boss man. You're going to get to the end of that road, and men are not going to want you. Because you're not a real person. You're a persona. They're not going to want you. You might look nice, right? You got the revenge body going on and everything. Man, it looks fantastic. But it's only a skin. It's only, I don't want to say a facade, because she really believes that she's changing. But that's not really who you are. I know you've picked up a couple of skills, right? But you got some problems, man, and you need to fix those. Really. Like you guys are not, I don't know if you realize, modern women, you guys are not that great, right? You thinking that you're going to get something else, and look how it turned out for me. As we can see with the evidence, it turned out terribly.